what do you make of Joe Biden resigning?
Well, everyone in this audience knows it was a bittersweet day for me. I was way out in a limb that Biden would never back down. Some of that calculus clearly changed in the last week or so, and I have to admit, I was harboring the feeling for, I would say, the last, 5 or 6 days it was going to happen. He was going to quit. And the reason why that I was beginning to turn the corner on that is because it was becoming clear as the polling was starting to roll in that Joe's motivated by two things. He's motivated by legacy and the ability to enrich his family. And both of those were going south on him because it was becoming clear he's going to lose in November if he stayed in, which is not great for his legacy. And he was going to lose the ability to help his family make money. So it was pretty clear over the last few days he had to get out, because now if the Democrats lose in November, which they still probably will, we can get to that in a moment, the blame is shared now, because you can see it, because Joe's a hero. I don't know if you've been online the last 24 hours. He's incredible. He's the most selfless man.
George Washington.
Yeah, he's better than Washington. I mean, you're kidding me. It's like George Washington had all of his faculties. Joe Biden doesn't, and he's still making great decisions. So, and once he loses, he can't make money for his family anyway. So, I'm sure he got a bag of cash. I don't know how it's going to be distributed to him, how the resources are going to get allocated, how the funds will be wired, and which bank accounts and which countries they will go to. But I'm sure he got a bag of cash now, because he's not getting any. I mean, once he loses, he can't help his family at all then. So, he found the right off ramp. I think the timing was pretty impeccable for him. But it's sad for me, because we lose one of the best characters we ever had, and a character that we took for granted. And I say character on purpose. I think people who go to Breitbart.com and listen to the show have heard me speak in these tones, but I tend to think of Breitbart.com as a bit of a Truman Show-esque like movie, where the characters reveal themselves, announce themselves, and then they recede. And Biden has been one of my absolute favorites, and he's gonna go away now. And it won't be entirely. He'll still be kind of a background character, but in a few months he'll be gone, and that makes me sad, because I thought he was one of the best ever. And what is going to happen next might be better, Mike, but it might not be better. We might see the Democrats coalesce around Kamala Harris. I've never found her nearly as interesting as Joe Biden, and she might be easier to beat. Donald Trump said so. That was the right thing to say. But she might be tougher to beat. And we don't know yet. We had the worst candidate ever we were going against. And he was one of my favorite people to track, because he was so bad in so many ways, and yet surprisingly effective in other ways. And now he's gone. And that's sad to me. So bittersweet day.
I saw a meme of The Truman Show, and it was Ed Harris, the director of The Truman Show. And he's looking off and he goes, "Now give them COVID."
Unbelievable.
So
Unbelievable.
Move,
perfect.
Moving.
I hadn't seen that, and it just fits perfect.
We talked to Peter Schweitzer an hour ago, and we were talking about that bag of cash. And he's like, "Oh, yeah, but it'll be distributed via opportunities. So they'll get some Netflix production deal for $60 million to make one documentary later, whatever, if at all." So yeah, it'll be stuff like that, just more jobs, opportunities, and Dr. Jill will get some fake teaching job at UVA or whatever. Okay, that sounds.
She's an amazing educator.
Right, so,
I don't know if you've heard this. She's such a good educator. She could actually be the Surgeon General.
Yes, absolutely. She's a doctor, after all. I heard this argument. See what you think. The person said, "Don't think that the Democrats right now are engaged in some sort of master class of 4D chess, moving the pieces perfectly so that they can. They're just flailing right now and in total chaos and don't know what to do this afternoon, let alone in 6 months."
Absolutely hit the subscribe button on that. And I hope this comes with, look, I know this audience has heard me say he's not going to drop out, even though, of course, I'm an idiot. I knew there's always a possibility he was going to drop out. So just don't make the mistake of taking me entirely literally on those predictions I made. But I will tell you, I have to take I'm gonna have to go to the bench a little bit on predictions at the moment for obvious reasons. But I will tell you, Mike, that I fully subscribe to this. And another thing I've done that this audience has heard me do for many years is to say, always come from the perspective that the Democrats know what they're doing, that they are making the correct moves, and we're playing grandmasters, and not that we're playing, recreational chess in the park. And this one I'm way in on. We are playing recreational chess.
Sorry, Alex. Sorry. We lost. Sorry, darn it. We lost you at go with the assumption that the Democrats know what they're doing, and we are. That's right.
Yeah, I said in this environment, I don't assume that. I assume that we are playing recreational chess in the park now. We are not playing a grandmaster, and not even the hustler type where they're going to take $5 off of us. No, they don't know what they're doing. They're goofing around. They have no idea what's next. And I think that they potentially made a colossal mistake. They made a huge gamble. And if I was advising them, I would have told them, you got to take the L. You're going to lose. And you should lose with Joe Biden, and then point the finger at Joe Biden and blame Joe Biden for everything because he deserves it. And that will work. And then you can move on. And now if they lose, they've subverted democracy. They have undermined their own voters. They've undermined their own electoral process. It's been very public the way they've done it. And they've done it after 4 years of nonstop, we are in a democracy and we need to preserve democracy talk. So now if they lose, the burden is all over the place. It's on Barack Obama. It's on Nancy Pelosi. It's on the Obama podcasters. It's on the establishment media. It's on all of the various factions of the party. It's on the donor class. Kamala Harris is the darling of the donor class, Hollywood and Silicon Valley. All of these power centers love her the most. The people do not like her at all. So she's probably going to get nominated. I don't know for sure, but I'd say 75% she'll be the nominee. And if that's the case, and she loses, which she probably will, now the burden is shared with everyone. And I don't think they have taken that into account, that this could end up being way worse for them.
Great point. No guarantee that she is the nominee.
True.
Which is interesting. So maybe we can do a little thinking about that 25% that you just mentioned. What does that look like, and why would anyone else want that? Who else? Like, what is Amy Klobuchar going to come out? Who takes that from her?
Yeah, I that's so interesting that you say that, because I have, again, I'm being a little reluctant to make full blown predictions at this point for obvious.
You're allowed.
I know. I'm absolutely allowed.
Take another hack.
Trying to be curious because I actually care about the truth, the votes. But this is why you look at the betting markets and Gavin Newsom's like at 4%. I mean, he's clearly the savviest politician of the group. And why is he at 4%? Because everyone, I think, has figured out that he's probably too smart to get in the middle of this stuff. It's the Kamala Harris is not. She's an idiot. Like, it's the, and I Mike, I'll tell you I have a chapter on Kamala Harris in Breaking Biden that I think I'll pull excerpts, and I'll share that with the audience. We can talk about it as time goes on. I'm in no rush to get all the talking points out there because I want to have fun with her the same way we did with Joe. But I'll tell you the first chapter. I mean, it was 20% of the book because I figured she was. It was clear that there was a possibility that she was going to be the person. She's not bright. She's not. She's not. She's not Hillary Clinton. She's not Michelle Obama. She's not Pete Buttigieg. Like, she's not any of those people. She is a total party apparatchik. She's a puppet of the party. She's been propped up. She plays the game, and that's it. And so it's got to be her because this environment is terrible for any candidate. And there's only two people crazy enough to insert themselves into it, I would say, of the group, which is her and Newsom. And there's only one person dumb enough, and that's her. So she's it, in my opinion. I don't know for sure, but I would bet, if I had $100 to bet, I bet $80 on it that it's her.